Good day, everyone. By the way, I am Jeremiah Jude El Camilosa and I will be your reporter for this moment. I'll be tackling about the evolution of Philippine taxation, specifically the fiscal policy from 1946 to present, which is ang pinaka-last na topic ani nga chapter. But before we proceed to the different presidents, sa ilahang mga terms, kung unsa ilahang mga nabuhat from 1946 up to present, so ilang nabuhat about sa ato ang tax system or taxation, let us first tackle about the indirect and direct taxes. Kay kanina mga term, ato ni siyang maagihan unya para pod masabtan day nato. Direct taxation and indirect taxation are two primary methods of collecting revenue for the government. They differ in how the tax is imposed and who ultimately bears the economic burden of the tax. So taxes are used by the government for various reasons. Muna siyang ginapasweldo sa mga employees, pagbuhat ng mga projects, infrastructures, and even mo ginagamit para mapakaon ang mga nasa prisuhan. So, direct taxation, the target is imposed directly on individuals or entities who are expected to bear the economic burden of the tax. Kita na. Sorry kung medyo mabulol ko sa tax na word. The tax liability falls directly on the person or organization that earns income. Mo gyapon na, kita na, basta natay kita. Natay income tax. Owns property, ato ang property tax para sa amua, among lutig amo balay, naga-tax ni siya every year. Capital gains taxes, wealth taxes, etc. Muna siya ihang mga example. And its nature is, it is progressive in nature. Direct taxes are often designed to be progressive. So, meaning that individuals or businesses with higher incomes or greater wealth pay a large share of their income or assets in taxes. Kung mas dako ang imuha wealth, imuha income, mas dako kag porsyento sa tax. And it is also transparent. Direct taxes are usually more transparent kay gikan man as ato Dali ra kay makita. Now, for indirect taxation, ang target is imposed on the purchase, consumption, or use of goods and services. Muni siya ang sa mga palitono na ni ginabutang ni indirect taxation. Examples are sales tax, value-added taxes or VAT, nagmoy ginapatong sa mga palitonon. Excise taxes, mo gyapon ni siya. Excise tax is a tax on the production, sale or consumption of a commodity in a country. Either muna siya excise tax ba na sa tobacco, sa alcohol, sa sugar, etc. Can also be custom duties. So, unlike direct taxation, indirect taxation is regressive in nature because they tend to take a larger proportion of income from lower income individuals or households. Pantay-pantay ra kay sa palitonon raman siya ginapatong. Kung mahal palitonon, maglisod og palit ang mga low income na mga individuals. But it also has a collection simplicity. Kay sa mga palitonon na siya ginapatong, indirect taxes are often easier to collect because they are collected at the point of sale or consumption. Tanla siya mismo sa mga products na sa mga consumables na atong ginapalit o gina-use. So first is Manuel Rojas, 1946 to 1948. After the war, the economic situation was so problematic by 1949, there was a severe lack of funds in many aspects of governance such as military and education sectors. Yes, mawag na siya nahitabuan na time after World War II, kay naga-cope up pa, nagabangon pa ta sa mga damages, nagibuhat sa Japan sa ato gipa-repair pa nato mga roads, infrastructures, ato pag-rehabilitate ang atong nation, ang ato country, mo nang medyo tagilid ta sa ato ang kwarta. And then, no efforts were made to improve tax collection, even though naglisod ta. Why? And the US advised the adoption of direct taxation, but the administration of President Manuel Rojas declined the proposal because it did not want to alienate its allies in Congress. Yes, what do you mean by alienate? Di niya gusto na mabaguhan ang mga taga-Congress. I-introduce niya og bag-o. Then they are still transitioning, healing, mending gikan sa war. Transitioning pa ba para maulian ta. Tapos dungag-dungagan na pud nimog trabaho. Kay pabag-o nimo ang tax system, fiscal policy sa Pilipinas. Dungag trabahoon, hasol, lisod. Kunang wala na niya gibuhat kay hasol og mabag-uhan gyud ang mga tao. Next is President Elpidio Quirino. Kanin different ang nahitabo sa iyang reign. President Elpidio Quirino implemented import and exchange controls that led to import substitution development. So this policy allowed for the expansion of viable manufacturing sector that reduced economic dependence on imports. So basically, if you can remember the lessons sa contemporary world, ang gibuhat ra ni LPG Quirino is protectionism and not free trade. Kinapatak-an niya ang mga taxes or tariffs ba to siya, if I am not wrong, sa mga nagasulod dire, naga-import para tangkilikan nato ang atong sariling atin. We use our own products, di ta mag-import gikan sa gawas. So he passed new tax measures which include higher corporate tax rates that increased government revenues. So isa pod na sa iya gibuhat para motaas-taas ang revenue sa country. Then kaning tulo ka president gikan sa okay na tapat to ang kang Quirino, pag-abot na pod sa ilaha tulo, nibagsak na pod. The succeeding presidencies of Magsaysay, Garcia, and Macapagal promised to study tax structure and policy of the country to the creation of Tax Commission in 1959 by means of RA number 2211 to make way of a more robust and efficient tax collection. But, there is still a rise in corruption during 1959 to 1968. Kay Filipino businessmen in Congress did not pass any tax legislations and rejected taxes on imports. Malamang kay silang businessmen, di sila gusto na masamdan ang ilang mga bulsa, pakuhaan silang kwarta. Kay sila man ang suktan sa tax, kay dagko man silang kwarta. Sila man nag-un sa mga businesses tos indirect taxation pabiyagi saligan sa ilang production, sila mga produkto patungan. So wala sila gibuhat para di sila kabayad. Post-war fiscal policy remained regressive, characterized by the overburdening of the lowest class. Malamang kay nagkamahal ang palitonon. Well, the landed elite who held business interests were in Congress to ensure that tax would not be levied to them. Like what I said earlier, explanation, now ugaina, wa nila ginabuhat kay para di sila mapektuhan. Indirect taxation still contributed to the 3/4 of tax revenues. Indirect taxation gyapon sila sa mga palitonon gyapon. And the Omnibus Law of 1969 kani siya, 1969, panahon naman ni Marcos wala ko kabalong no naabot ni diri dapat kang Marcos pa ni siya. But the Omnibus Law di ni siya sakyanan ha, kuan ni siya. Mga proposed law that covers a number of diverse or unrelated topics so kaning omnibus law gi-implement ni siya daga ni siya saklaw na sa unsa na taxation sa ila ba territory bagan agrarian reform basta daghan kay ng mga unrelated stuff nagibuhatan og law mo na siyang omnibus law wa gyapon asyay naambag daw. Tax structure was still problematic and corruption was rampant. Wa gyapon siya pulos kay mga buaya man ang naa sa katungdanan. Then or gyapon as you have observed katong sa omnibus law ni Marcos wa man datoy polos so sa ihap administration bagsak gihapon ang atong tax tax system. Under the Marcos authoritarian regime, tax system remained regressive. Wag gyapoy kaswagan. Later part of Marcos years, which is 1981 to 1985, still depended on indirect taxes, which made up 70% of total tax collection. Tax system also remained unresponsive. Taxes grew at an average rate of 15% and generated a low tax yield. Tax effort was low at 10.7%. So makita niyo mga numero diri agagmay ra gid siya baliyo, mga percent niya. Now here comes President Corazon Aquino. Piri. Muna ning greatest reforms sa tax system nin hitabo. Reform the tax system through the 1986 tax reform program. When siya, the aim was to improve responsiveness of the tax system, promote equity by ensuring that similarly situated individuals and firms bear the same tax burden, promote growth by withdrawing or modifying taxes that reduce incentives to work or produce, and improve tax administration by simplifying the tax system and promoting tax compliance. So for Cory Aquino, basically ito sa mitolab katong gipangyayon ako, iyahang gipanindot, gipaayo, gi-improve ang tax system sa Pilipinas para di mabugatan tong mga low income. So, value-added tax, isa ni siya sa main features na nabuo sa tax reform program ni Cory Aquino. A major reform in the tax system introduced under the term of Aquino was the introduction of the value-added tax or VAT. Muna ni, hantod karon na ani siya. Indirect taxation gyapon ning VAT ha. With the following features: uniform rate of 10% on sale of domestic and imported goods and services, and 0% on exports and foreign currency denominated sales walay VAT kung magpagawas tag produkto. 10% in lieu of varied rates applicable to fixed rates, 60 nominal rates, advance sales tax, tax on original sale mo nang gipampatungan og tax, subsequent sales tax, compensating tax, miller's tax, contractors tax, broker's tax, film lessors and distributors tax, excise tax on solvents sa mga pintal, sa mga thinner, and batches and excise tax on processed videotapes pati ang mga salida sa una butang nga nilang VAT. 2% tax on entities with annual sales or receipts of less than 5,200,000 na sila 2% ani. Kung ing-aning ilaha sales annually. Then adapting of tax credit method of calculating tax by subtracting tax on inputs from tax on gross sales. Then exception of the sale of basic commodities such as agriculture and marine food products. So exemption ni sa VAT kay sila man pud ang ingon pagay ni Pinoy nasa laylayan. So di na dapat sila pud patungan og tax mo gay nagibuhat ni Cory. Walay VAT ang mga farmers and then ang katotong mga fishermen. Sa mga original state kanang fresh pagod niya na state, price regulated petroleum products o na wala gihapon ni and fertilizers. Then additional 20% tax on non-essential articles kani sa mga luxury sa luho sa tao. Patungan ning 20% sakto ra pod mga dato ra pod mapalitan ni such as jewelry, perfumes, toilet waters, di na siya toilet water ha, dili na siya sa CR. Toilet water related ra gyapon na siya sa perfumes pahumot. Yate, o dako kayog tax na but and other vessels for pleasure and sport. The VAT law was signed in 1986 and put into effect in 1988. Bisan na perma na siya 1986, na-implement siya fully in 1988. So along with the tax reform came the administrative reforms. Di lang VAT pod, pati sa administration nagya pinabag-o. Restructuring the Department of Finance and its attached agency, which is the BIR or the Bureau of Internal Revenue, through the Executive Order number 127. Then tax collection and tax audits were intensified and computerization was introduced para dali ra ma-store ang mga information ug di magkawala-wala. All of this reduced corruption and improved the trust in the BIR in general. Motoy resulta sa tax reform program ni Aquino. As a result of the tax reform of the Aquino administration, si administration ani both tax and revenue effort rose to aragyod, increasing from 10.7% in 1985 to 15.4% in 1992. Apa ka ng almost 5% in the span of 7 years. Improvement na gyapon na siya. Now, here comes President Fidel Ramos. Kani siya, dakuha po ni siya naambag sa tax system sa Pilipinas. He's also a war hero sa Korean War. Greater political stability during the administration of Fidel Ramos in 1992 allowed for continued economic growth. So, napadayon na to ang improvement sa tax system, iya pa yung i-improve. So, here comes. The Ramos administration ventured into its own tax reform program in 1997 through the Comprehensive Tax Reform Program. So, ihang enhance Comprehensive Tax Reform Program or Republic Act 8424 or Tax Reform Act of 1997. And based from my research, if I am not wrong, mo gid ni siya ang basis, muna siyang foundation karon sa tax system na atong na-experiencehan karon. Morning ka ng mga direct taxation ba? Na fully implement na gyud. Like ang mga common people para sa ato nagatax na sa ato ang property, sa ato ang income. Dili na ta nag-rely sa indirect taxation but direct taxation na. The Comprehensive Tax Reform Program was implemented to number 1, make the tax system broad-based, simple, and with reasonable tax rates para di bugat sa bulsa sa mga tao. Minimize tax avoidance allowed by existing flaws and loopholes in the system. So, ilagi tanggal ang mga loophole, mga lusutan sa mga gusto mo buhat og tax evasion. Encourage payments by increasing tax exemption levels, lowering the highest tax rates, and simplifying procedures. And lastly, rationalize the grant tax incentives which was estimated to be worth 531.7 billion pesos in 1994. Then pati ang VAT, nagyapoy kabaguhan sa panahon ni Ramos. The VAT base was also broadened in 1997 to include service. Through RA 7716, the features of the improved VAT law were as follows muna siya. Restore the VAT exemptions for cooperatives. Exempted na sa VAT ang mga co-op. Huwag nag-co-op sila kay medyo lisod muna siya. But na siya a condition provided that the share capital of each member does not exceed 515,000 pesos. So nagay mo siya limit. Expanding the coverage of the term simple processes by including broiling and roasting, effectively narrowing the tax base for food products. Expanded the coverage of the term original state by including molasses. Then, may exempted sa VAT sa panahon ni Ramos. Importation of meat. Pasulod og meat. sale or importation of coal and natural gas in whatever form or state, educational services rendered by private educational institutions duly accredited by the Commission on Higher Education or CHED. Okay ra pod ni. Okay, sa education man. House and lot and other residential dwellings valued at 51 million and below, subject to adjustment using the Consumer Price Index. Lease of residential units, magipaupahan, parintahan, monthly rental per unit of not more than 58,000 subject to adjustment using gyapon sa Consumer Price Index. Then, sale, importation, printing, or publication of books and any newspapers exempted gyapon ay sa VAT. Now, here comes President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. Diri, ang progress, ang improvement sa panahon ni Aquino og ni Ramos is na-stop ani na time. She undertook increased government spending without adjusting tax collections diri na. This resulted in large deficits from 2002 to 2004. The government had to look for additional source of revenue, and in 2005 the expanded value added tax was signed into law as RA 9337. In February 2006, the VAT tax rate was also increased from 10% to 12%. Titaas ang VAT tax rate. And then mo gay ning hinungdan nga napresyo siya kay pahigasto ra daw kanang sa panoy dili gud maayo pagka-manage sa gastuhonon mong ito na priso siya nagbubutang-butang dig neck brace para gather the sympathy. Tapos pagkahuman bitaw niya palayan wala dahil diretsong neck brace, grabe na. Wow, grabe na mystery ba. The VAT base expanded muna subjecting to VAT several products and services muna ning gipang butangan niya VAT. Energy products such as coal and petroleum products na dati exempted, electricity generation, transmission, distribution, and selected professional services such as legal services, accounting, medical, architectural ug engineering, and then other professional services such as consultancy, technical, and scientific services. Muna ni mga VAT. Now here comes President Benigno Aquino. Muna isa sa pod sa pinaka-nice niya na nabuhat sa tax system kaya atong itakil. Nice niya gibuhat. Promise that no new tax would be imposed. Tamang good. An additional revenue would have come from adjusting existing taxes. The administration ventured into the adjustment of excise tax on liquor and cigarettes. Dili day new day. But, ila lang ipadakan day. Which is, excise tax on liquor and cigarettes, which is known as the sin tax reform. Motivations for which was primary fiscal. Para pod ba-increase ang funds, ang revenue. And then, also public health. Kay ilalagay kita pataasan ang tax para mutaas ang presyo sa sigarilyo ug alcohol nang para di na pod mainganyo ang mga tao na mukuha na ng mga bisyo. And social order related considerations muna kasagaran gubot may tabo tungod kay hubog. So Republic Act 10351 or Sin Tax Reform Act of 2012 aims reduce consumption of harmful products mo gid ni iya main aim. Second ra na ang una gid na kanang increase government revenues, and then maghan na ng reduce consumption of harmful products para dili na magamit og sigarilyo, di na manginom ang mga tao daw. Methods: impose higher tax on alcoholic beverages and tobacco products muna nang mahal. Designed to discourage consumption of these products kay mahal naman ay nagpalit. Generates additional government revenue. Yes. Then it is very important because it promotes public health by discouraging harmful products consumption. It also provides revenue for social and health related programs. And then, tax rates are periodically adjusted to account for inflation and economic changes. But before we proceed to Duterte, na-observe ba ninyo, wag hapon katugong minimize ang manggamit sa sigarilyo ug manginom, wag hapon siya niga bisan mahal. Nangita gyud pamaagi ang mga tao na makainom o makasigarilyo kay lisod na walaon ang bisyo na ilang naandan. Bisan mahal, mupalit mo gay na ng mga sweldo bago pag naka sweldo sa saka, palit na lang dahil nilag iinom-inom ra dayon. Palit nilag mga imnonon, palit sigarilyo. Natanang sigarilyo nilang gipalit, kung ilan na kwentahon ang isa ka tuig na dako na gid kay nagmapalit. Ang amount ana. Now last, we will proceed to President Rodrigo Duterte kay moro ning last nagyatag sa libro din nato magihan si Marcos. So promised tax reform particularly in income taxes to lower income tax rates shouldered by working Filipinos. The proposed tax reform also seeks to limit VAT exemptions and increase excise taxes on petroleum products and automobiles. So, iya gipagamit ang VAT. It is hoped that reforms in the country's tax policy will result in the much desired economic development. Yes, and sa panahon po ni Duterte is ato bang GNP or GDP is dagko. Makita nimo ba na grabe ka green ang mga numbers, ang mga percentage. So, the country's tax policy will result in a much desired economic development that will be felt by the lowest classes in society. So, wala nag-expand sa libro, pero ako siya gi-expound kung unsa tong specific na gibuhat ni law na implement sa Duterte administration. It is the Republic Act 10963 or the train law. Di na siya train na para sa train sa, na meaning ang TRAIN. The Tax Reform for Acceleration and Inclusion, muna siya, or train law officially known as the Republic Act number 10963 was signed into law by President Rodrigo Duterte on December 19, 2017. 2017 pa ko, and was implemented on January 1, 2018. Key provisions and changes introduced by the train law include, muna siya, ang sulod sa train law, reduction of personal income tax rates resulting in a higher take-home pay for many Filipinos. Nakadungo po ko ani na balita-bitaw ko to sa sweldo nila mama, no, na gi-reduce pod ang mga tax na gipatong. Imposition of excise taxes on sugar, sweet and beverages. Mo bitaw na observe nimo ngano nang mahal ang coke ina panahon. Petroleum products and tobacco products to increase government revenue. Mo ni gipatasan ang sa income gipamub-an pero ang excise tax gipatasan. Expansion of the value added tax base with certain exemptions and privileges limited. And then reduction of the corporate income tax rate over several years to make the Philippines more competitive for business. This is the last slide. But before I forget, no, kung magwonder mo nganong wala sa Estrada di ay tuod, kay mubo ra kayo ang iyang termino. And as you can remember or as you know, nagka-second people power biya sa iyahan na time mo nang naputbol siya sa iya pwesto, nasipa siya mo nang di na nato wala na gilabyan ang mga nahitabo sa panahon ni Estrada. And then, second, nag-wonder mo, no face reveal sa Takarono. Tingog lang sa, kay murag isang ulan naguro mo sa ko ang kagwapo. Wow. So, antos lang po ang tingog na ako. I guess, sa intro man dapat din ako nagibutang, no? Pero kung po kinamdong but, sorry. Tana, namina mong tarong. And I guess that would be all. Thank you.